Welcome to the bold analysis. Today, the 10th of February, marks the first term of Kenya Kwanza administration. The days remaining to the next election is the same as the days that Ruto have spent since his inauguration. So, did you know that the president was supposed to be in Nyeri, was supposed to sneak to Nyeri yesterday, but the state remained tight-lipped in him skipping? And so, in this podcast, we're going to look at that because that trip, the president's trip to Nyeri, was supposed to be an opportunity to counter Rigathi, but it failed. So what is really, why did the schedule change? Make sure you watch to the end as we unravel the details. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, this month of February, we are supporting our sister Josephine Wambua. The lady you're seeing here is a single mother of 3 children, delivered all of them through a cesarean. The husband left when this child she's carrying, she was 2 months expectant, said she was going to work, never to come back. So she's really struggled and is now a bit stranded, even with several months of house rent, school fees for the child, and even now has been forced to doing business hawking this watermelon, carrying the child at his back, and is a very difficult, is really going through a hard spell. Now in this month of February, I decided that we are going to turn around and change her fortunes. Help us achieve this. We are going to support her, pay the house rent for 1 year, pay the fees for the child, and also establish a business where she can work seated somewhere so that she can take care of the child instead of walking around, because it's also very hectic. It's also exposing that child to several dangers. Help us partake of this, partner with us for this. We are running a deficit now of 78,000. Our target was 150. We only have now a deficit of 78,000. As I talk to you, we already have 72,000. We are going to close this fundraiser tomorrow on Tuesday. So kindly partake as we support this young girl.
Ni venye nauzanga melon. Hii ndio kazi yenye niko nayo kwa saa hii. Ndio niweze kulisha watoto.
Melon unapata pesa ngapi?
Melon napata faida ya 200 na nunua na 200. Ndio kwa saa hii juu sina kazi nyingine na niko na watoto, ndio niweze kulisha hao watoto. Juu si huyu peke yake, niko na watoto wengine 2, sasa wote ni 3.
Kuna watoto 3? Na wako class ngapi?
Ule first born second born nampelekanga daycare. Huyu juu ni mdogo, natembea na yeye.
Na
baba yake aliacha kama niko na mimba ya miezi 2, akaniambia ameenda kazi, hajawahi rudi.
Sijui utamchukua na huko, nataka watu wamuone. Yes, kesi yake iko very, nataka experience.
Babake alitoka kwa nyumba akaniambia ameenda kazi na hajawahi rudi mpaka wale. Hiyo ilikuwa ni last year mwezi wa 4 date 29.
The president was supposed to attend the church service in Victor's Chapel, Karatina. Victor's Chapel, Karatina, that is the photo of the bishop you're seeing there, was celebrating 25 years of service. And the state, that is Bishop William Wachira, and the entire government was supposed to camp in Karatina. Remember, I analyzed that video on Friday on on Saturday night, Ruto was expected and was expected to make a tour, an impromptu tour in Nyeri, alongside Mutahi Kagwe, who also hails from that area, and probably he believed that he was going to get a reception, since that was the first visit after making that cabinet appointment. And in preparation to the president's visit, this road you are seeing here was even done in anticipation that the president was going to launch some projects. A member of parliament, Eric Wamumbi, spent better part of Saturday afternoon crisscrossing the county, mobilizing people with cash and boda guys with some cash so that they would receive the president. And I am really looking at that MP, and that MP is fighting a lost cause. I sympathize with him. I know, yes, he knows that probably thinks Rigathi is not popular, but he's fighting a lost cause. And so, on Sunday, the president never showed up in Nyeri. A call came from president's handlers on Sunday morning that he's not going to make that visit, and because on that Sunday, the Rigathi Gachagua was issuing a statement on the state of affairs there. That is what took the limelight, and the country never paid attention to it. But the president has been confirmed. The president was supposed to be in Nyeri, and Wamumbi came out giving this explanation. He's talking in Kikuyu, but what he said there is that the president was not going to show up, failed to show up because he just he was committed after the leaders summit in the president summit in Tanzania.
No Friday agitohurira thimu na seneta wa Matinga na agitwira ni undu wa bare iri kuria Goma, Congo. Ni athondeka mucemanio wa presidents all the East Africa tonewe chairman na nigetha mathie makariririe bare iri Congo tondu eta chairman we na yugiririki na koguo auma icio ro muthenya wa Friday ona ndahurukire ukire igirite ndege agithie Dar es Salaam na ni kwari na ni agiukire nindi guku twiguku na ni twarehe kiheo giake kanitha uyu na koguo gitumi kiria kiagire guka ni tondu ekuria bururi wa Tanzania Dar es Salaam agikaro number president.
I need to say something. That Wamumbi is fighting a lost cause, and probably I've seen him discrediting Rigathi. Of course, that is in the interest of the president. So, as a first-time member of parliament, and he really made, sometimes you don't make a calculation. At Rigathi Gachagua impeachment, he needed to stand with Rigathi. That was the first miscalculation. Now, after realizing that he had already committed a blunder, then now took over the position and is now the one that has been commissioned to attack Rigathi. He's saying about, I'm in government, so that, because that is the message he was telling Nyerians, we are in government for roads and water and this and that. But what that MP don't seem to see is that the president has never gone to Nyeri since last year in October. No development project going on that has been launched by anyone. So really is really fighting a lost cause. Now, regarding the team, and I think the reason why this happened, I saw some Ruto bloggers, of course, defending, giving an explanation and to this, and let's get it. The postponement of anticipated visit to Mount Kenya region by His Excellency William Ruto, President Ruto, was a wise decision. The visit, although well intended, was wrongly interpreted by many as a show of might to former DP Gachagua and would have possibly therefore caused some tension in the region. In his wisdom, the president realized that he doesn't have to equate himself with a pig by rolling on the mud and feeding on the trash. This doesn't mean that he shouldn't visit Mount Kenya like any other part of the country. In fact, he should do it soonest. So that is what, that is the husband to Murugu. That is what they are saying, that the postponement was because of avoiding tension. But I want to play for you a soundbite of Rigathi yesterday. There is something Rigathi said. That was his punchline. That was his punchline. Part of his punchline in during that interview. He said that Ruto and the team wants to impeach Chege, and his people will not accept it, and he will sacrifice himself to fight for the region, so that if things don't, and if Ruto continues, then they might even go to the street. Now, that statement from Rigathi, there is an intentional reason why I want you to listen to that part. Of course, he's talking in Kikuyu, but I saw someone did some good job in translating.
Mutimia gwitu kuria Meru uria maraingatira Rigathi wa Gachagua anake ni marokire ha maranjira no wahitirie muno ni gutwira ukiingatwo tukire twarakara tukaina tutigucoka gukira ringi okorwo ni makuingata mathakome ni tukumira tuhinge barabara Rigathi wa Gachagua na itungatiria ingi to ni turamenya marabanga kumunyita muthenya uria muri nyitwo ni tukumira tuhinge barabara tondu yo ni urugere ya president William Ruto ara understand marabangite andu guthie gukuraga Limuru tugikira muthenya uria ungi micemanio ya kwirithanio turikorwo barabara ni riu nani ndetikania na acio ati mundu uyu aratukua uguo itheru tondu ithuo na tweka maundu moru no gukira turekate turakira aratwanaga na Raila umiria andu agatiga guthie ruti ya arathi riu uria anake maranjirire na ndetikania nao ni ati gutire mundu Rigathi wa Gachagua ni mundu wa muico kuingatwo wira kirima giki maigata mathakome meharĩrie andũ tũrĩ makaumĩra tondũ guo nĩguo gatiba ĩtĩkĩrĩtie peaceful protest manyita tondũ mabangaga kũnyita hĩndĩ ciothe nĩgetha mathece cindano ũrĩa mekire matiba gũtirĩ ũndũ tũtoĩ nĩgetha akiri ciakwa nduĩke mboga kana manyita itungati iria ingĩ iratetera rũrĩrĩ anake maranjĩrire matigetĩkĩra rĩngĩ mariumagĩra barabara makarũgamia Naikuru makarũgamia Meru makarũgamia Embu makarũgamia kũndũ guothe nĩgetha nao mamenye atĩrĩrĩ ona ithuĩ nĩ tũrĩ andũ aitũ arĩa mangĩtũrũĩrĩra.
Now, this statement from Rigathi yesterday, calling for protest when things don't go their way, is a statement that probably I believe the president's handlers knew that if they make that visit to Kirinyaga, to Karatina, and without well preparations, there was going to be tension. There was going to be tension. And I want to tell you why. Even Rigathi was supposed to attend that. Now, Sabina Chege, who attended, amongst the MPs, remember I told you that there were several MPs who had been invited for that event. Sabina Chege attended, acknowledging the tough reception that the president is having. And in fact, and I want you to listen to that, Sabina Chege, before I say this. Now, you could get that clip of Sabina Chege and that MCA who's saying, even if people are opposing, that should not be constructed to mean that they don't want the president.
An end justifies what? The means. So once we have this government, we are not expecting any election until the next 5 years. So I want to challenge ourselves, starting with us who are the leaders. You have been given a responsibility as an MCA. Before you point out to the national, what have you done yourself? You have been given a responsibility as a governor, as a senator, as an MP, na wena CDF yako. Utanaba kuwa national government ituikire, what have you done? I am a nominated member currently. What am I doing in that space? Because there are many Kenyans who have been nominated to become or to go to parliament. God chose me. In Jubilee, in the entire nation, we only had one nomination. Look at God. What have I done to God that I am the only person who was nominated by Jubilee Party? So, Kiarone Keiraga, and today we might see things that they are not happening the way we would have loved to. I met a woman of the Heavens Gate at the mountain. She said, we prayed for this government. It was painful to back this government, but we are disappointed. But then I reminded her, every authority comes from God. Every authority, it comes from God. If the church you prayed about this nation, please continue praying.
We must pray for our country because the political temperature in this country, it is not good for our churches, it's not good for our young people, and it is not good for our business because we are also business people. Todo rugura turona ni atongori gutinda makianirira makihura na kure kungi na bishop nugire wauga atongoria na nginya mathikiririo na mheshimiwa ni agweta auge tutigathikiririe muno andu na tuthikiririe Ngai. I agree with him that we must listen to the voice of God, but the same way equally leaders must listen to the people they serve. Kati horoama kwa sababu tukisema maneno haiendi vizuri kwa serikali, hatusemi serikali ni baya. We are saying this must be changed. When we say the model of education is not working, we are saying let it be addressed.
Now, after the church service, Eric Wamumbi and some other MPs, Eric Wamumbi and the Senator Omatinga, were called a press in front of the church. And Sabina Chege snapped that press briefing. She was not part of it. She left the church immediately after that and never uttered any statement. Now, that event was supposed to be a venue to attack Rigathi. Yes, they were venue to attack Rigathi because the same time Rigathi, it is the same day Rigathi was going to issue a statement. But that did not happen, and it is really understood that I told you that several MPs were reached out on Saturday afternoon to attend the service, but quite a number were non-committal. Now, I've seen the truth of the matter here is the president avoided Karatina event. So why? Why do you think he avoided the Karatina event? Kindly subscribe to our channel and also help us change Josephine fortune. Josephine is our project this month. This young girl here, yeah, she's going through a spell. We've always helped people. We've always helped people, and I believe that this is a cause that is worthy supporting. We'll be closing the fundraiser tomorrow, so that on Wednesday I'll dispatch my team so that we can be able to support her, and that will be our project for this month. What tunasema, beyond the politics, humanity is also very important, and we are used to building houses and the other big projects, but I also believe this is important. We'll start our granny care next month in March, but for January and February we've just done individuals. Now, why did Ruto avoid Karatina event? There was the scare of sharing a podium with Rigathi Gachagua. Let me tell you, Rigathi was also reported to be attending that, was reported to be one of the people to attend that event. And exclusively, let me tell you, you remember the Embu event? That event, Rigathi was not invited. Remember the Embu event where Ruto was heckled? That event, Rigathi did not receive official invitation. So he was actually, his presence there was organized by the area MPs who are around him. I told him there is an event here, you come. And that is what sometimes politics is. Now, that church service is in Karatina, that is Nyeri County. There is nothing that will stop Rigathi from going there when he knows the president is there. And immediately when he's in that place, you must acknowledge him. You cannot fail to give him the microphone to speak. So he knew very well, and Ruto feared the fact that he was going to share a podium with Rigathi. Because when Rigathi is there, you cannot attack him. Now that is what is making this difficult. You may want to attack him, but you can't attack him when he's there, because he will respond, and will respond not in a very kind manner. He might leave, then start doing a rally and respond to you. The other issue is the turnout of the UDA MPs. Now, the UDA MPs from Mount Kenya are avoiding associating with the president, because the president is avoiding your region anyway. How would you associate with a man who is avoiding your region? And I think the intelligence were also looking at Kindiki reception in Kieni. It was underwhelming, and if Ruto would go there and receive such a reception, remember some of the church members there had also hinted that if the president is going, they will not attend that event. Some of the locals, yeah. So the tension was a bit there, and if the president goes and then the turnout is low, then that will still continue to justify his waning popularity going on there. The reason why the president is avoiding Mount Kenya, I'm going to explain to you today. I'll explain it in my last video today. In my last video today, I'm going to explain to you why the president is fearing going to Mount Kenya now. It is not the hostility is there, but there is a real reason. I'm going to explain. Kindly support us. Thank you.